my good peoples? Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, motivational coach, confidence coach, and business coach. And listen, y'all, today we're going to go ahead and get into it. But before I get into it, listen, if you are on the audio side, please make sure you hop over to the YouTube channel and follow the Convicted to Grow channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave comments. Make sure you share. Just know that all that you do is priceless to me. And thank you once again for the support. And guess what, y'all? We're getting ready to come up on our 1 year anniversary. Yeah, February 24th will be my 1 year anniversary. So I'm excited for that. We are in our last week of January. Wow. I feel like it was just yesterday. I blinked twice. It was January 1st. I feel like I blinked 3 times. And then next thing you know, it was Christmas. Like, I'm telling y'all, time goes by. If you're not maximizing your time as you should, you'll look up and next thing you know, we almost getting ready to go into 2026. So anyway, I wanted to say just thank you guys. I appreciate your support as always. I told y'all before, when I do these solo episodes to you guys, I'm usually in the moment when I record. I don't really have too much of a structure as because I don't do a lot of editing as solo stuff. But you do get more real time because I literally will drop the episode and I've recorded maybe 3-4 days prior to. But I am in the process of working on some more guests. So if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, definitely shoot me an email at info@trussamans.com at info@trussamans.com. Let me see if I have that. Yep, I don't have it on here. But anyway, so again, thank y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and start it. And I wanted to talk about, y'all already know, most of my audience is professionals, leaders, definitely my entrepreneurs, a lot of my service-based providers, coaches, consultants, speakers, and things like that. And I was talking to a girlfriend of mine the other day, and we were just talking in general about this time we're living in, right? And that it's easy to get discouraged, this entrepreneur journey. The entrepreneurship world is not for everybody. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm not saying you can't do it, because here's the thing: if it was so easy, right? Everybody would want to be an entrepreneur. If it would think about that, if it was so easy to navigate this entrepreneur journey, everybody would be doing. But guess what? It does take time. It takes strategy. It takes structure. It takes systems. It takes support, right? You got to have that go-getter mindset. You got to have the right financial resources. And it takes confidence to know that, hey, it's going to take a while. And I think a lot of times we look at other people and we see them thriving in their business, and we think we can just go out here and take a leap of faith. Just leap for joy, right? Ooh, let me just start this thing. Well, here's the thing. A lot of clients that I work with today are still working their 9 to 5, and they're trying to juggle the entrepreneur journey. It's kind of like, hey, I'm a professional during the day, corporate professional, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 7 to 3, whatever it looks like. And then when I get off from work, I got to go into my entrepreneur mode, business owner mode, and really truly do what I need to do, whether it's business development, marketing, social media content, getting out, just whatever it is to get into your business to make it happen. And one of the things that I see a lot of times for my corporate professionals, they get discouraged a lot because, again, you own this 9 to 5, right? And you got so much vision. You like, man, my vision is so much bigger than my reality. Like, I see my business taking off the ground. Like, you see so many things for yourself. And here's the thing: ain't nothing wrong with dreaming. I encourage that. As long as you're you're a visionary. As long as you have vision here, anything is possible. And so I think sometimes when we on that 9 to 5, it's frustrating because it's like, man, how long I got to work this 9 to 5? How long I got to keep going here and dealing with these people in this toxic environment? And maybe sometimes your job is not a toxic environment. You just sick and tired of being working a 9 to 5, right? And I tell people today, taking a leap of faith, right? Because I've done it before. Taking a leap of faith today is nowhere near how it used to be. It's totally different. It's totally different. And I mean that meaning that before you quit your job, and I actually made some notes because I don't want to be all over the place, but before you quit your job, like, there are going to be a couple things you need to think about before just up and quitting, because sometimes we'll get that urge and we'll be like, oh my gosh, you like, man, God told me to quit my job. Did he for real? Like, make sure now you want to get confirmation if that's what he told you, or you be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this thing. And here's the thing: maybe they pissed you off. Maybe you got passed up over a promotion. Maybe you didn't get the raise you thought you deserved, and you've been on the job for year after year after year after year to only get 3% raise. And you like, man, forget this, right? So you're reactive and not proactive. And so one of the things that I see a lot of times is when you quit your job, you have an moment. Like, okay, this is real. This is real. And so I want you to just be mindful, right? Before you quit your job, I want you to think about these things first. Here's the thing. Right now, in today's time, in 2025, groceries are going up. Everything is going up, but money ain't. And so you got to be very strategic on making your next move your best move. And so I still have to say, like right now, eggs is what, $7 and some change. Well, at least where I'm at, it's like $7 and some change. I think I saw on TV that somebody in California, the eggs were like $13, $14. Like, where they do that at? Where they do that at? And so I know you really want to pursue your entrepreneur journey. I know these things because I used to be like that. I remember being in corporate, and I remember couldn't grow no more. And this was the first time, because I've here's the thing. Let me go back for a minute. If you leave your job, corporate job, and for whatever reason, you got to get back into the corporate space because the business not going as how you plan to go. Maybe for whatever reason, the money, you need more money. Here's the thing. Don't you ever feel like a failure for going back to corporate. You going back to your 9 to 5, whatever. Don't you ever feel like a failure. And I say that because sometimes we'll take this leap of faith, right? We'll quit our job, and then we get out there and realize it's harder than what we think, and we got to go back, but we don't want it. That fear of failure, so we get like egg on face of like, oh my gosh, I'm going back to the corporate. Don't do that. Like, I did it in 2018, right? And when I quit my job in 2018, I couldn't grow no more. I was making 6 figures. I was a senior recruiter, technical recruiter for government contractors, for actually an Alaska Native owned company at the time. And I would recruit. For those who don't know, my background is staffing. I know how to recruit. I've done it for 20 years. Dang, I feel old, but I'm wise. So anyway, I say all to say, at that season in my life, I was at a place that I couldn't grow no more. I was just frustrated. And I'm going to tell you what it was. In 2018, I had just turned 40. I had just turned 40. I was doing events on the side. I had my own, like I said, event management company. So I would do these events. And I remember I had just finished my first book. So I had already did my book release event, but I also was doing women's events. So I had did this one called BYOB, Be Your Own Brand. Was it Be Your Own Brand or Build Your Own Brand? It was a women's empowerment gathering. And I ain't gonna lie, I got a taste of the entrepreneur buzz. Like, I had got a taste of that. I was like, oh, I like this. I want to do this. Right. And so I was ready to quit my job. I was ready to quit because I was so frustrated. I felt like the people that I reported to, I knew more than them. I felt like it was like I was at a season of my life. I'm turning 40. I'm trying to find purpose. Because here's the thing: when you get into your 40s, it is a little bit different. You're more like soul searching. You're more like seeking clarity and seeking purpose. Like, where do I supposed to be at in life? Am I moving in the right direction? I say I like to say that's how I was in 2018. And here's the thing. I didn't have no plan. First of all, that my leap of faith in 2018, that was a leap of faith. Like, I had no job lined up. I really didn't have a strategy. I didn't have a coach either. I didn't have no business coach. I didn't have no mentor. I didn't have nobody that I could tap into to say, hey, what did you do? Because here's the thing, I had already had my side hustle business for years. So sometimes with our side hustles, we treat it like it's a part-time gig. But when I was ready to go all in, I said, I'm going all in. I'm going to take this leap of faith. And I remember my employer was trying to counter to give me more money. I said, it's not about the money. It's not about the money, it's about the mission, it's about my purpose. And I'm ready to take this leap and just do my own thing. If I can make y'all money, I can go and do my own staffing and consulting company. It was, yeah, that's how I was. I was in that mood. And so I say all to say that when I did that, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I remember the guy who he passed away now, but the guy had started dating. I was in a new relationship. I got a new job. And look, he didn't even know. He was like, "What? You did what?" I said, "Yeah, I quit my job." But I had just met him. But I remember he came over one day and he was like, "So you're a business owner, but you're working in the kitchen?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got this. I got this." And he was like, "Yeah, we need to get you some monitors and we need to get your desk set up. Well, you need to have an office set up. Like if you're gonna be running a business, you gotta act like a business and show like it's a business." Uh May he rest in honor and peace. But yeah, so I had to get the desk and everything set up. But it was a lot, y'all. It was a lot my first year. And here's the thing. It probably took me probably about 7 to 8 months. Let's see. I quit June 2018. July, like maybe 5 months. It took me like 5 months to get my first client. But see, I was grateful to get my first client only because that first client was somebody I had worked for years ago. That's why they say never burn your bridges. Never burn your bridges when you're leaving your 9 to 5, because you just never remember. I had my first contract that I signed with him for because he needed recruiting services. So I say all to say that it's different now. Okay. Meaning that if I was working corporate now, I wouldn't just up and quit my job like that. Like if I would balance as much as I could and leverage it, right? Until I knew I had enough in the savings or whatever that would sustain me when I did make the leap, that I'd be good. Now they say now when you take a leap of faith, when you make this leap, you should have 6 months in savings, living expenses. Well, here's the thing that I know. Honestly, the way the prices are now and the way things can be, always unexpected changes and things like that, I would say you may want to have like 9 months to a year for real, because again, it co- we're looking at monthly expenses, right? Now, if you say like my monthly expenses is 5,000 a month, all right, you got $5,000 a month in monthly expenses. Well, add on another probably $1,000 to that or 1,500 to that to run your business starting out, because you're going to have email marketing. You're going to have your website. You got to have your CRM, and you don't have to start with CRM just right away, but there are things that you're going to have to put in place to run a business. And if you are a product based business, you got to fund your business to get product, right? So I say I like to say that um, when quitting your job, you want to make sure you're financial stable in today, 2025. Okay. Yes, you want to make sure that you are good, because right now, in the world we're living in right now, things are always changing, and like I said, prices are not going down. At least I don't see it right now in January 2025. So you want to make sure that you have the financial stability to make sure that you're going to be good, because one thing about entrepreneurship, and those who get it, you got to be disciplined with your money. Yeah, you got to be ready to sacrifice your lifestyle. If you used to like going out and spending money every weekend for brunches and happy hours, you're gonna have to scale back, boo. Or if you used to buying the name brand $300 pair of glasses, or these name brand clothes and things like that, you're gonna have to scale back. Why? Because it takes money to run a business. And here's the thing too, a lot of times even business owners don't think about, you got to have health insurance. You still got to have insurance unless you're on your spouse's insurance. But for the most part, you got to think about that. Those are things you need. And if you got a family, who is this going to affect? If I quit my job, is this going to affect my partner, my spouse, my kids, right? Because here's the thing, they also are relying on you. So you got to make sure that financially there's some stability, security there before just taking the leap in 2025. So that's one of the things that I would tell you to do. Like for example, when I quit in 2018, I didn't have no listen, I ain't had no 6 months either worth of pay. I may have 4 months, but here's the thing. I didn't factor in business expenses. And I remember like my money was getting funny and my change was getting strange. And oh my God, that's a whole nother episode that we'll talk about that bounce back story, but it was a lot. And here's the thing, it took for me, like I said, to get my first client, what, 6 months, 5, 6 months. But when I did it, I went all in, and the momentum was there, and then clients was coming in, right? And then for me, I remember 2020, the pandemic. I started operating in fear over faith, and I had got offered a opportunity, a huge opportunity to be a president of talent acquisition. And I decided to make a shift and pivot and go do that, because during the pandemic, it was a little rocky. It was like, business is like, we don't know what's going to happen. So we don't need your services right now. So I say all to say I did go back to corporate in 2020, and I'm glad I did, because here's the thing, it was more experience to leverage on my resume to say, hey, I was the president of talent acquisition of government services and commercial services for an 8A company, and was able to grow it from a was it $35 million company all the way up to like a 53, 75 million, something like that. It during the duration I was there, by providing them with top talent. And when I quit again, during that time, quitting in 2022, I was more prepared. I had a strategy. I had a plan. I had financial stability, security. I had already planned it out of my exit strategy. So I want to say that make sure your financial stability is there. Number two, the strategy of it all. Before you say, I'm going to go out here and start my consulting company, I'm going to start my coaching company, I'm going to go out here and be a speaker, I'm going to go out here and be a trainer, I'm going to go out here and whatever you want to do, whatever your passion is, you got to think about some key things. All right, who are you going to target? How are you going to target them? Like your audience, your ideal client, right? Who is your competitor? What's going to set you apart? Because especially when you're in the coaching and consulting space, there's so many of us out there. So you got to say, okay, what is going to set me apart that will get a client to want to use my services as a new business? Those are the things you have to think about, is having that plan and having that strategy, because you got to market it, you got to sell it, and you got to grow it. Simple as that. So that's another thing I want you to think about, before quitting your job, is like, start writing these things down. Support system. It is important that you have a good support system. I tell people starting out, listen, it is okay to get you a coach or a mentor. Get you a coach or a mentor when you're trying to grow your brand or trying to get structured and things like that. It is okay, because here's the thing. Your support may not come from your family, your friends, or people that know you. They're not in that space. Your family may not understand why you so gung-ho about this entrepreneur journey or your business, and they don't understand that that's what keeps you up at night, because you have vision. They don't understand that reason why you go hard, because it's bigger than you see yourself being the solution expert to so many clients in that lane that you're in, that you master, that you are the subject matter expert in, right? So I say all that to say that it's going to be important that you have a great support system. It's going to be important that you have a community that you're in. One of the things that I provide is I do have a community, which is the Convicted to Grow Circle community. It is a private community. It's not on the social media. It is on the Circle app, and it's a community of entrepreneurs. It's a community of professionals who have entrepreneur journeys as their side hustle right now, and trying to grow and looking for strategy, looking for support, looking for that motivation, looking for that accountability, looking for that accountability that can help them be consistent. Because here's the thing, consistency builds momentum. And if you don't have somebody in your corner that's making sure that you're making the necessary steps and cheering you on and saying, good job, even with the small steps that you're doing to build your business, it is easy to get discouraged. It is easy not to put the time in, and it's easy to just give up and say, you know what, maybe now it's not the time. And then years later, you're beating yourself up over, man, I should have had my business up and off the ground long time ago. Been there, done that. So I encourage you that get into a community of like-minded individuals on the level that you're trying to go. You want to be a speaker, get in a community with speakers. You want to be an author, get in a community with author. You want to be a personal or fitness trainer, get in a community with fitness trainers. You want to be a fisherman and use that as a sport, get in a community with fishermen. You want to have your own nonprofit, or you want to have your own consultant, There is a community for everybody. Seriously. So I encourage you to do that. And if you are interested in being a part of the Convicted to Grow Circle community, even if you just come in and explore, try it out, and see if this is something that's right for you, I encourage you to do that. The link will be in the description. So please make sure you check that out as well. Or you can go to ctgcommunity.com. And so I'm excited because we're building, we're growing it, and I just launched it recently. But so having a great support system, I will also say, is the work-life balance. Balance is key. Whether you call it work-life balance, work-life harmony, whatever you want to call it, your well-being is important. It's going to be important and that's when you're managing your time comes into play. Because a lot of my entrepreneurs sometimes, even the ones that I coach, they may work 9-10 hours and they've been drained. Then they got to get off from work. And if they have a family, that's another thing you got to take into consideration. You got a family, you got to deal with those commitments first. So maybe you got kids still in school that need dedicated attention with their homework, cooking and things like that. You got a partner, husband, wife, whatever. You want to give them some time too, right? That's what keeps the balance even in the relationship. And then you got to put time in your business. But you look at that, man, it's 9 o'clock. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. And here's the thing, your sleep is important. I wouldn't tell you like, no, you need to stay up another 2 hours and stay in. And when you know that if you're tired, no, go to bed. But I will say this, start thinking about how I can manage my time better, what sacrifice I'm willing to take. I remember when I was working in corporate and I was getting my consulting company off the ground, would I would have to be at work at 9. So what I would do is I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, y'all. And I only live maybe 10 minutes from work at the time. So I would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, take my shower, get my coffee and things like that. I would make sure I was on the computer by 5:30, literally from 5:30 to 7:30 or 5:30 to 8, before I would get dressed, put my makeup on and all that other good stuff. I would literally be doing stuff in my business. I remember on my lunch break, I would go outside in the parking lot and, making phone calls and making connections and doing content and things I needed to really truly put that work into my business. Weekends, I couldn't go out every weekend. I had to make it a sacrifice, say, okay, from 8 to 12 or 9 to 12 is going to go solely in my business. So you also want to make sure that you have a balance, making sure that you don't stress out, right? Because here's the thing about entrepreneurship. It is challenging. Not going to lie. But when you get it, oh my God, let me tell you something. When you get it, it is also rewarding. It's a fulfillment of joy that you just feel like, wow, my hard work is paying off. And when you get your first client, oh baby, now you in it. You in this thing. You like, okay, I done got one client. I'm ready for my second and my third and my fourth. So I just want to say that make sure along the way you're taking care of yourself, your mental health, your emotional health, right? Stay grounded. If you're a believer, stay grounded in faith. Stay prayed up. I'm a believer, so I pray daily. And I say, God, thank you. Thank you in advance. Thank you in advance for the client that's coming my way today. Thank you in advance for this contract I'm about to sign this week. Like I speak it into existence, y'all. I've always done it with the business, and I've been successful with that. Just speaking affirmations over my business. So definitely make sure that you are having a balance, work, life, and your entrepreneur journey. Make sure that's so balanced. Also, you want to make sure you're structuring it right. Getting the legal things out the way, because one of the things you don't want to do is run a business and you ain't even legally structured and set it up yet. You want to make sure you have your LLC. You want to make sure you have your business insurance. You want to make sure you have a business checking account. You want to make sure you got your tax ID. You got your doing business as in the county that you live in. You want to make sure you have things in place, your accounting system. And actually, speaking of accounting system, shout out to QuickBooks. For those who are, especially my small business owners and entrepreneurs, QuickBooks, and the only reason I'm saying that because we just became a business affiliate with them. And I actually got a link. I'll also drop that in the description as well. But we just became a business affiliate with them. So I'm excited, and being able to leverage them as part of, my entrepreneurs who need stuff for their accounting expenses, invoices, and things like that. But yeah, so you want to make sure you structure your company. You want to have all these things lined up before you quit. And I'm going to tell you right now, where the job market right now is crazy. Every now and then on the consultant side, I still get clients who may reach out to me for recruiting opportunities and stuff like that. Or they'll say, hey, we need help with staffing. And I'm going to tell you right now, the job market, oh my God, I've seen candidates who haven't had a job in over a year, 2 years. They just can't find a job. And it saddens me because you can hear the desperation in their voice when you're talking to candidates. Like, they just want anything. Like, I just need a job. I need to pay the bills. And they didn't gave up hope on their business. They don't have the money. Like, it's like, hey, I'm in survival mode. I can't afford to run a business right now. I can't afford to even think about a business right now. My motivation is surviving. And maybe we'll do another episode in regards to that. And, even as a coach sometime, when I'm coaching my professionals, a lot of times it is the confidence and the fear of failure and not having support system and really truly like saying, you know what, right now, maybe it ain't the time. And so I will tell you that, never give up on your vision. Never give up on your vision. They say delay don't mean denied, but never give up on your vision. Your entrepreneur journey, I will tell you this. It is okay to start over. It is okay to relaunch. It is okay to go back to the drawing board and look at what you have. Look and see, is this really truly a service that I want to provide? Is this really truly a product that I really believe in? Because one of the other things that I see with entrepreneurs is they don't promote themselves. They don't promote themselves, and that's a whole nother episode. We may do that one next week, promoting with confidence and how to really network with confidence, but they don't promote themselves. And so it can be frustrating. You're spending all this money trying to run the business and keep up with the business, but ain't no money coming in. And now you're like, man, bump that business. I'm going back to working. Like, forget that. Right. And that's another thing too. You're going to have to figure out, like, all right, I'm going to either have to really truly hire somebody, or I'm going to this YouTube university and figure out how I can network with confidence, promote with confidence, how I can get over my fears of not wanting to be in front of the camera, how, marketing strategies and things like that. Because that is a big piece to hold people up from really truly making profit in their business. Big piece. I don't know you. I don't know. You don't have no website. You want me to pay you what to do what? And I don't see no social proof. That's a whole nother episode. So I say all this to say that, I know sometimes it's like I'm ready to quit. Here's the thing. Before you quit your job, just look at those things that we just talked about, right? But I want you to also be grateful. Be grateful, because there are some people who don't have a job and they're struggling. And here's the thing. You may say, well, Tressa, I got a job and I'm still struggling. Hey, I will say this. If you're struggling financially and you're still working a 9 to 5, so that's why it frustrates you to be on the job, then start dusting your resume off and put yourself out there. Put yourself out there and see what you were. When I've dealt with candidates, I see so many candidates sometimes are not even getting paid what they worth because they don't know. They haven't said, let me just see what the market is paying. Let me just put myself out there just to test the waters. But I don't want you to give up on your entrepreneur journey. Like, I think when you surround yourself with the right people, the right community, the right coaches, the right mentors, even somebody it could be a friend that is on an entrepreneur journey, and y'all can hold each other accountable, right? That motivation. I'm telling you, I have somebody now that, like, maybe, matter of fact, this week, they was like, okay, we're going to hold each other accountable. What you got to do before the end of the month? I'm like, well, we only got 3-4 more days left before February 1st, but the accountability piece, so important. It is so important. I say all to say that keep grinding, keep growing, and do it all with gratitude. Get around the right people. If you would like to be a part of my community, if you would like my services, whether it's confidence or business strategies, like Tressa, I can use your help. Like, you can definitely send me an email, or you can go to my website at coachtressa.com or tressamans.com. But you can also, like I said, send me an email and we'll go from there. info@tressamans.com. I really want to help people this year. I said my mission is to help 100 people grow in life and grow in business or career. I've been gifted enough where I have the career coach background as a recruiter, as a hiring manager. I have the background as business strategy. I've started my business up twice. Actually, one time the staffing and now this coaching side. I've helped others start theirs up and been successful at it. And I've also had the experience to help with confidence because, the confidence thing, that's one of the biggest pieces that I see that a lot of clients sometimes lack or, because again, they're not confident you're not confident when you don't see the results. You're not confident when you failed before. You're not confident when you don't have nobody telling you, oh my gosh, good job. And let's celebrate these small wins and really get those creative juices flowing. So with that being said, listen, y'all already know how I do life. Life is a journey. Life is priceless, and to some, life is short. But while you here on God's green earth, you maximize your time, continue to bet on you, continue to work on you, continue to love you. Know that the best is yet to come. Get connected around like-minded people. Get connected with just in tune with who you are, your authentic self. This is going to be the season that you show up for yourself. This is going to be the season that you really, truly go all in and bet on you. You are the gift. I want you to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am the gift. I am the gift. Whether it's one gift, two gifts, three gifts, four gifts, we all are gifted in some way, sort of fashion, right? But you are the gift. The question is, are you using the gift? Ooh, are you using the gift? Yes. So as always, thank y'all for supporting me. For those who are on the YouTube side, I need a favor. Please make sure you go over to the audio side. I'm really trying to get my downloads up on that side, or at least some ratings over there. We're doing pretty good, but we could be doing more. Because my ultimate goal is to get, like I said, sponsors and things like that. But I also got to bring the numbers up on the audio side. So please make sure you hop on the audio side too. And if you're on the audio side, hop over on the YouTube because we on the road to 10K. And I love y'all. I really do love y'all for real, for real. So, and shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all see it? I got the green on today. Don't hate. If your team ain't in it, don't hate. Just congratulate. How about that? Because you be acting the same way if your team was in the Super Bowl. But yeah, shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Super Bowl once again. And so we'll see. February 9th, we're going to see. But anyway, y'all, I love you guys. Until then, take care. Mwah.